Again, I want to welcome everybody here today. I know it has been, for some of you, a circuitous journey to find your way here to the ballroom here, but I appreciate your persistence in getting here. I think we've got a lot of good content to talk about today. To do a quick introduction, I'm Scott Clinton. I co-chair the Agentic Security Project. So I want to just go ahead and welcome everyone here. One of our key partners in helping make this possible was Tenable. So Tenable is our sponsor for this event. And so, Tomer, do you want to say a couple of things? Yeah, just for a minute. Do you want to try the microphone and see if that works?
You say my voice is less loud than yours?
Just a note, you do have to put that like right to your mouth.
Like that.
There you go.
I don't want to spend much time, just wanted to say hi, I'm Tomer, I'm VP Product at Tenable, leading the relatively new today's launch AI exposure product, so we're very excited about that. We're happy to host this event with many additional people from Tenable. We're very excited about what OWASP is doing. We're really appreciative of that, and I think they're doing amazing work for the community and for making the world more secure place, especially as AI is moving so fast, like faster than anything we have ever seen. So thank you for coming, thank you for contributing. We're really excited to be part of this. And yeah, have the best time.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what we have planned for today. So we got the welcome out of the way. So we're going to talk a little bit about, we got several things going on. I'll talk a little bit about the project. So one of the things we find is that even though we've been doing this for a while, helping people understand what the project is, what we're doing, and how we're approaching things. Just so we're going through an education on that. So I'll talk about that and some of the things that are coming up. We'll dive deeper into the State of Agentic report. So if you've been on LinkedIn, you will have seen that we just published that today. And so we'll be going through a deep dive on that. And then we also will be talking about our agentic threats and mitigations. Also, if you're on LinkedIn or if you're not, we did kick off this morning with a global call around 4 different cities around the world. We were in London, Tel Aviv, Greece, and then here this morning, and kicking off the Agentic Security, the top 10 for agentic. So the team, as part of the Agentic Security Project, the Agentic Security team, has been working on documenting the threats and mitigation starting all the way back in December of last year, and have been progressing on that. And I know Helen will talk a little bit more about what we progressed and some of the risks around 1.1, but we also kicked off this morning the next step, which is refining that down to a top 10 list. In the very beginning, there wasn't really enough patterns around agentic applications, and so at that point the team decided to let's focus on what we want to put together. Not enough data to do a top 10, but now we're at that stage, so it's a great opportunity to join in and participate, and I'm sure the team will share some of that through our conversations today. And there's opportunities, if you didn't get to listen to or join the virtual call, it's available for live stream right now, but not right now. Like in a couple hours from now, when we're done. You can dial up and you can get up to speed. So I'll go ahead and get started. Just to give a little background on the project. Many are already familiar with the OWASP Foundation. The Agentic Security Project is a kind of a unique approach or a unique project. We're actually a project of projects. We have initiatives within the project. So we've taken very much sort of the idea of leveraging the volunteer community and the community at large to create a focused community around generative AI. And so we operate as a separate project, but projects within a project. We are also currently the only project that is independently funded. So we are funded by our sponsors, by people's donated time, and then we actually send some of that funding back to the foundation. And that's helping us fund things like testing. So testing costs money, and we need to enable our community to be able to do things like that. So that's some of where that funding is going. As I mentioned, we actually started as a top 10 list. So for those of you who are familiar with the top 10 list for LLMs, that's where we started. Steve Wilson came up with the concept plus a core team around that. And from there, we recognized that there was a need to focus on not just a list of risks and mitigations, but also to focus on solutions. And also translate those risks and mitigations over to not just security practitioners, but also over to executive CISOs. We saw the top 10 list be picked up by all sorts of folks. Sandy was a key part of helping build the first checklist for CISOs as we started to open the door for those conversations. And then we continued to see growth and need to connect the risks and mitigations to actual solutions. So today we have 8 working groups that cover a variety of areas. The Agentic Security one is one of those working groups, and each of those is producing content to help look at the overall security posture as it relates to AI, generative AI systems. It's all a volunteer group, so we're all volunteering our time. I'm volunteering our time. All of our experts, we like to talk about the community as our approach is a community-first approach, but expert-backed, which gives us the ability to kind of look through and cut through some of the noise that is today out there. I think everybody is, you can't throw a stick without hitting another blog or post on AI security. The value that we bring uniquely as a community is everything we're doing is peer-reviewed. It's peer-reviewed by experts, and we're getting direct input from the communities. What that community looks like today is that we have our LinkedIn followers at over 15,000 on LinkedIn. For those of you who are joining and participating on LinkedIn, that's great. Our Slack unique members is almost 5,000, contributing in the different working groups. We've got a lot of supporting companies. We've got different ways that companies are supporting us, either providing in-kind resources, or like Tenable is here today, kind of helping sponsor our events, or they're providing funding, as I mentioned before, to kind of help us accelerate what we do and what our community can do. So for example, as I mentioned, testing resources. The other part is technical editors to help our SMEs be more effective in getting content out. And so we can read more quickly and make sure that we're being responsive to the market. We're also took on sort of an approach or a philosophy that is what I would consider, to work to respond quickly and iterate quickly. Because this is such a fast-moving market, our decision or kind of direction as far as a community, we decided, what we want to do is we want to provide the best guidance we can provide at the time we can provide it, and then focus on iterating as technologies evolve. Because we don't really have time to wait. So to the best expertise we have, we get that out and we start iterating on that. And that's been kind of a cornerstone of how we approach things. As I mentioned before, we've got project sponsors that are helping fund this, and so I want to thank our project sponsors. This helps everybody kind of slipstream what we're doing so we can be more efficient at getting critical content out. A lot of people come to me and they talk to me and they say, hey, I know about the top 10 lists for LLM. Are you doing other stuff? And obviously with the agentic stuff, that has definitely taken a center piece, a center of focus. But we also have done a lot more. So the project has published over 15 different documents that are related to everything from red teaming best practices with AI to agentic, as we'll spend more time talking about today, to CISO rules, and then landscape guides tracking the landscape of new solutions that are coming to market, both startups and new technologies that can help us map and address the risks and mitigate the risks that we're identifying as a community. So it creates an opportunity for us to create a ecosystem within our community that is not just around the experts, but also is around the solutions that are fight to that. This week, as I mentioned, we announced the Agentic Security and Governance Guide. That came out this week. We've been on track of publishing roughly 1 or 2 guides every couple of weeks. So we've been on a little bit of a tear, and there's more stuff coming that we'll see about soon. We also had the global kickoff that I mentioned earlier that you guys can join and listen to. And then we also have coming this week the new piece. So As I mentioned before, we wanted to connect with solutions to our original top 10 for LLMs to help people understand what solutions cover what categories. To do that, we needed to come up with a SecOps framework for generative AI. So we'll be releasing this week also the Agentic Security Landscape for agentic use cases. So these are all technology companies or open source projects that are addressing different parts of the life cycle. We'll also be introducing the life cycle definitions so that we can identify which solutions are addressing which parts of the life cycle, and then also how do they map and address the top 10 or the top risks and mitigations, eventually the top 10. We've already seen some strong adoption of the work the team has been doing. We've got 18 solutions in the market today that have built in the agentic risk mitigations 1.0 into their products as part of their reporting for their organizations and for their customers. And with that, it's helping us capture more information around how people are addressing these. So we're able to identify which of the risks and mitigations solution companies are supporting. And this data is going to go back into what we're doing in prioritizing the top 10 for agentic security. So not only are we taking a community approach, we're also taking a data-centric approach. So we're validating what the community is working on with real data. And the real goal is for us to make practical content that you can use. Again, these are being developed by practitioners for practitioners, by CISOs for CISOs. That's the whole idea. We also have a roadmap. You can see this on our website through 2026 of each of the different initiatives and what they will be delivering. This is a great opportunity both as a consumer of the resources to understand what could potentially be coming to help you address the security risk around AI and applications. The other part is that it's a great opportunity for you to think about where can I contribute, where can I add value? Because we're only as strong as our community is. And so this gives you an idea of where we are currently focusing. One of the things I do want to highlight is that we're also working to make sure that our guidance is available globally. So you'll see there we have a strong track around translations, multiple languages, to make sure that the resources are easily consumable on a global basis. So if you're interested in localization, if you've got skills around translating for languages, we've got opportunities for you to contribute. If you're looking at helping CISOs or you're looking to address areas around red teaming, we've got opportunities. We also have a working group around data security. So if your focus is around data security, that's where your passion is. We've got a roadmap there and opportunities for you to help contribute. So where you can learn more, obviously our website, but we also have our LinkedIn. So if you're not following us on LinkedIn, please do that. We have a podcast hosted by Aubrey, who is down here front. And so we run this podcast on a regular basis as our way to communicate out around the different solutions and areas. So look for what we're doing on our podcast. We have a regular newsletter that goes out to help connect you with the latest resources that are available. And then we've launched our learning portal to help connect videos and help people become more adept at understanding of the different areas. So these are areas where you can start to connect with us and the community today. So, but how can you contribute? Really simple. We've got, you can request to join our Slack. So Slack is where we do our work as a community. Many of you are already contributing and being part of that. But please go to your Slack, get a Slack invite, and become part of the community. We then have a set of Slacks that each one of the different working groups uses, both a major Slack and then supporting Slacks. So you can feel free to go ahead and find the one that fits your area of interest and join in. And lastly, if you're interested in sponsoring or supporting us, there's opportunities for that too. So I wanted to kind of give everybody a view toward what we're doing, where we're headed, as we kind of go on this next stage, because agentic security is changing rapidly. I mean, as we all know, when we first started working on the top lists of risks and mitigations, things like A2A, MCP didn't exist, and I guarantee you there's going to be a ton of other protocols given history that are going to show up. So there's a lot to be debugged and a lot to be figured out between now and then. And so please, hopefully these resources are going to be helpful for you. Hopefully you guys are open to kind of joining the community and contributing yourself. So feel free to contact me either on the site here or elsewhere on Slack. I'm happy to help you navigate your way to help you contribute or looking for finding things you need to have. So with that, we have a short time frame, so I want to keep us moving here. So thanks again, and I'll have our next speakers come up.